Hey guys, yesterday Diablo 4 released this trailer, this showcase for Season 7, Season of the Witchcraft, that is coming out next week. Tomorrow they are going to be streaming a campfire chat, so we will probably also make a video about that depending on what happens. But right now, let's see this trailer, this showcase about the season, and we'll comment about it, dude.
In the season of Witchcraft, the tree is missing some of its heads, which, spoilers, is actually a big deal.
Okay.
Someone has stolen.
By the way, in the base story, when they show the Tree of Whispers, this is something that it gives me a little bit of an existential crisis, you know. I know that you yourself make the deal to end up in here, but imagine you are just a living head, you can't die, and you are just hanging from a tree. You are like trapped within yourself. This has to be an awful experience.
Heads from the Tree of Whispers, and it is the Wanderer's role to discover the mystery behind who is taking the heads and to what end.
As you progress through the storyline, you work with the Coven, and in exchange for your help, they will give you their own powers, and then you can utilize these powers in Season of Witchcraft.
If you're not familiar, the Tree of Whispers is this ancient tree with heads. You can come and ask for favors from the tree itself, but it will ask for something in return.
Notoriously, no one has been able to get out of their deal with.
By the way, I think that the idea, the lore, the idea behind the Tree of Whispers is a really cool idea. The implementation of how you interact with the mechanics could be better, Let's see how they improve it in this season.
The Tree of Whispers, until now.
Okay, someone is stealing the heads.
Freeing these heads from the Tree of Whispers. And what are the fugitive heads themselves trying to accomplish now that they're free from the tree?
And these stolen heads are scattered all around Sanctuary, causing chaos and spreading strange rot, taking over the bodies of the living. Head rotten are what happens when a head from the Tree of Whispers attempts to graft itself onto an already living creature to reclaim that life. They retain some of the tree's power.
They look cool.
Brambles and roots grow along the
I have to say, this is a good idea, again, conceptually. This looks cool, dude. This looks cool. It is like a head, it is like a non-dead head, but they also involve nature and the trees and roots. It looks cool.
inside of these creatures, bursting out and causing them.
Now, this to me, it itches me like in an OCD fashion, that I know that the Tree of Whispers, because we go there and we see the tree, how many heads can the Tree of Whisper have? If it has a lot of heads, it has what, 1,000 heads. And I am being generous. I bet we are going to kill like over 1 million heads in our journey. Like, how many heads are you missing, dude?
To essentially have a head detach, and they don't mind sacrificing their living victims in their pursuit to live again.
During the course of the season of Witchcraft, you're going to work with different witches to help solve the mystery of the missing heads.
The witches of Hawazar are a coven of witches and chose to serve the Tree of Whispers in exchange for its power. At this point, hatred is spreading all throughout Sanctuary, and for the first time, it's managed to launch an attack at the Tree of Whispers, and though the tree is still standing, it's definitely worse for wear. And the witches that are bound to the tree have to set things right. Investigate, hunt down these heads, and through gathering strength in their witch powers to deal with the encroaching threat, they will be able to uncover what the mystery is.
I have to say, those quest lines, I know that a lot of people don't care about them, like the intro quest lines when you are like starting the new season. Some of them are annoying and suck, but some of them are really cool. For example, my favorite one so far was the Season 5 quest line, where you were working with the Triune of the Mother. And it was like a preview before Season 6. That quest line was really cool and I liked it. So it depends on the questline, on what you do, on the story, on what is happening. Some can be good, some can be awful, like the Season 3 one sucked dick.
In exchange for your help, the witches are offering you their witch powers. And this season, you're going to be able to tap into 3 major categories of witchcraft power.
Una has eldritch powers, which are tied to the cycle of life and death.
Eldritch powers are the witch's form of dealing damage directly to enemies in the form of fire damage, burning damage, shadow damage.
Okay.
Galena has power over psyche, which is illusion, and seeing the unseen.
Powers of the mind, will, and soul. and they're the ones that protect you in battle. Growth and decay powers
sounds
are
cool.
powers of the swamp.
Caden deals with the body, disease and poultices, familiars.
They're the ones that decay your enemies and heal you in battle.
So you might
Nice.
be going for a fire sorceress, for example, and decide that you want to have ancient mystical frogs helping you in some way. These are going to be things that you're going to play with to get new levels of power and unique builds that really are special to just this season.
Every class can use every
That is cool
power
to know.
for every build.
There is also lost witchcraft power that can be found while you're adventuring.
This is a
I have to say, guys, and I don't wanna rely too hard. If you are still here in this video, you know that I have tried so far to not comment, to not compare to PoE 2, but I have to do it. Looking back at Diablo 4, now that they are showcasing the game in here, the game still looks good. It doesn't look bad at all. I think it looks cool. But and I am not only commenting on looks, on graphics, but also on the feel of the game and on the skills and how the game plays. Now that I am playing PoE 2, it is like, brother, it is hard to go back to D4. You understand what I'm saying? I am going to still probably play the season. I'm going to at least try one character. But brother, this is different, right? This one hits different. It is different when you have to go back. It is my dude.
that exist outside the purview of traditional witchcraft powers. So as players progress through the storyline and they complete Whispers, they will earn a seasonal currency. This seasonal currency is used.
This looks cool, and this is what I want them to do every season. Give me borrowed power. And if the borrowed power works and people like it, keep it in the game for the future. I like this kind of interfaces. I don't know why, but I like them. So this makes me want to try the season. Now, what I want to happen, or what I don't want to happen, is that people discover that there are 3 powers that are basically the best in every build. And this happens every season in D4 that they introduce borrowed power. I hope they adapted different powers for different builds, and different builds select different powers. It is okay if there are. It is not okay, but I can take it if there are like 3 powers that are the best only for the sorceress. Okay, but if there are 3 powers that are the best for every class and every build, they fail. They fail dramatically, you know.
to one purchase witch powers and also upgrade your witchcraft powers. An example of an eldritch power would be a new power, Doom Orb, an ominous orb of pure eldritch energy that circles you and burns enemies with fire damage. Doom Orb gets stronger as you slay enemies and will eventually explode. Doom Orb will also launch itself at enemies if no enemies are near you. So we do have some returning fan favorites coming back in Season of Witchcraft. Players who are fans of our franchise will remember some of these powers are from Diablo 3, specifically the Witch Doctor. Fire Bats is returning from Diablo 3. Those who have played the Witch Doctor also remember the Hex skill, the Toad of Hugeness. However, it's been reimagined for Diablo 4 and Season of Witchcraft. This is the...
Don't get me wrong, it is cool that they are introducing these abilities again. But wouldn't it be cooler? Just give us a Witch Doctor. Release the Witch Doctor. I understand that releasing a new class is a big deal for them. But brother, I know. I will make the comparison again. But in Diablo 4 we got 5 classes originally, 6 when they added the Spirit Born in the Vessel of Hatred. And Path of Exile 2 is giving us 12 classes that are really not 12 classes, are really 36 classes, because the real class is the Ascendancy, dude. And you could say that no, the real class are the skills that are tied to the weapons. Those are even more than in Diablo 4 2. There are like, what, 12, 14? No, there is one type for each class. So there are 12 types of weapons too, or 12 types of skills. So you can't give me this crap that it is too hard to make a class. And they are doing the skills for a season, right? So making a new class is not that hard. But I understand that they are not going to give you a class in a season for free. They have to give you a class and you have to pay for it, right? In an expansion. I understand that. But then at least in the next expansion, don't give me just one class. Give me 2. Give me 2 classes. People like having more classes, more options to play with. I know this, dude.
This is the Poison Frog Servant.
I just think it's adorable, and I want to have a murderous pet frog follow me through Sanctuary.
Of all the Witchcraft powers,
It is cool.
something tells me that players are probably going to be the most excited about Piranha. It's effectively a whirlwind of...
I don't know how I would pronounce that shit. I would probably say in Spanish, this animal, this fish is called piranha, right? With the ñ, I don't know how you would say this letter in English. It is like the N with the thing on top. De pirañado, de pirañado. I don't know, brother. But I have to say that this looks like a silly ability, but at the same time, it is really cool. I don't know, I like it. You could say that, oh, this breaks my immersion, it's silly. I don't care, it is cool. It is a pirañado, brother, a pirañado.
Water and chomping piranhas that will just shred your enemies to pieces. And
Nice.
yes, it does pull enemies towards it.
Nice. I like
players
that.
will be
I like that.
unlocking and upgrading their various witchcraft powers through performing headhunts. You're going to see that there's an area in the world where the Tree of Whispers has detected.
So this is basically a new Helltide, okay. So I am not criticizing it. I am just pointing out that this is like the 4th time that you recycle Helltide, okay? Just pointing it out. Not saying it is bad, not saying it is good. I am just saying, brother, you are recycling Helltide again.
Fugitive heads. The head rotten are there. You need to go hunt them down. When they interact with other monsters in the world of Sanctuary, best case scenario, they horrifically corrupt that monster to become a new headless form of itself. Worst case, they actually affix themselves to a monster and become a new boss-like entity that has this ancient rotting head on top of this now puppeteered body.
There is a horror in them, a sort of Frankenstein-esque monster. So they have more humanoid traits, but even stronger powers.
Like flaming swords they're going to be throwing at you, or they might...
I have to say that does look cool. Apparently they are trying to give us mechanics in a fight. As you saw, like the projectiles, and they are telegraphing some stuff. That looks cool to me. That looks cool to me.
might be using poison axes that are hurled your way, or even shadow spears that tear up the ground. So
that looks
these are going to
cool.
be some new encounters that you've never seen before.
I
As
like
you
this.
perform
I like
various
this.
whispers in the area. Hopefully you see briars out in the world. These are going to indicate that there's a head rotten there. If you manage to successfully take down one of the head rotten and claim a fugitive head, this can be returned to the witches at the Tree of Whispers, and you're going to get special seasonal sockables as a reward.
Nice.
On top of that,
I like
there'll be
that.
some new whispers out there. You might have a chance to help a bewitched frog, or they might...
I like this. They are giving us this has the potential to be the best season yet, because they are giving us borrowed power. They are giving us a new activity. You could say that it's a recycled Helltide, but it's a new activity with some unique monsters that are like bosses. I don't know if they will be rares or uniques or bosses. And they give you another form of borrowed power with this thing that is a soccerable, that is different from the skills. I like it. I like it.
A lost wisp that needs to find its way home. As you engage in these whispers, you're going to get reputation with the witches, as well as seasonal currency that you can use to unlock and upgrade your witch powers.
Okay, I like
So
it.
we've seen a lot of great feedback from our players on what are the various features that they most want to see in Diablo 4 to make our game even better. One that's come up quite a few times is an armory. When you save a build in the armory, it's going to take a snapshot of everything.
This is a feature that we want, because basically you have an endgame character and you can respec it however you want, but you don't do it because it is a pain in the ass to go back and forth between builds and respecting your whole Paragon board and infusing the gear and doing all, and the skill tree and all of that. It is a pain in the ass, so you don't do it. This is a feature that we have been asking for. They are giving it. Hey, nice. Thank you.
Currently on your character. Skill tree, Paragon boards, your glyphs on those boards, and all of your gear. Players will be able to access the Armory UI from any major city. You're going to be able to pursue multiple different builds on one class at the same time. This can be pretty cool when leveling up, but it's especially fun once you get into the end game. At that point, whenever you find a cool item that, oh man, this is really strong, but not for the build I'm running right now, Oh, but you can still use it. You can still save out separate sets and try to pursue getting really powerful setups of very different versions of your class at the same time. I am excited of what it could feel like to constantly be swapping between these different builds and seeing which one is the most powerful.
Which would be really awesome if you had like a bunch of different activities that would require you to swap builds. It is stupid that right now in D4 we don't have like different cool stuff to do. Like everything is the same, right? Like even doing the raid that is supposedly to be like a raid, a teamwork activity to kill bosses. You just use the same build that you are using to run pits or whatever. It is just this one-shotty mechanic and an AoE. You just use always the same. It is not like there are builds that are better for pit running or better for infernal horse and builds that are better for bossing. No, it is all the same, right? But it would be really cool if you needed the specific things for each thing, and then you have a build that specializes on pits or on farming infernal horse or whatever, and one for the bosses and that, and then you swap. That if they get to that point, the Armory feature will be even better.
Excited for people to just immerse themselves in the season.
Me personally, I'm very likely going to be running a companion druid build with the grow power to have a giant werewolf army. Hell yes.
We have a quest line that is different and emotionally gut-wrenching.
New witch powers, fugitive heads, new whispers.
Really interesting bosses that have unique attack patterns.
Uniques, legendaries, and new runes for Vessel of Hatred players.
There's a lot to try out here, some builds that have never been present before. I'm excited to see what players do with it.
Nice. I have to say, boys, I like what I'm seeing for D4. You have to remember, I am not a D4 hater. I like D4. But I also repeat what I said earlier. You have to see this into separate ways. In the ecosystem of Diablo 4, this is going to probably be the best season yet. The game is improving. I like what I am seeing in the ecosystem of Diablo 4. Now, when you go out of the ecosystem and you realize that this game exists, then things get harder, because this game is fucking insane, you know? So, when you compare it to this, now that you have the option to play this, you have to do better, Diablo. You have to do better than that. Blizzard, you have to do better. Diablo 14, you have to do better. Because I will try the season, but I don't know how long it can hold me, because I will be eager to get back to this, you know? So, the people were saying you now have to compete with PoE 2, and it is true. It is true. Now you have to compete with this, brother. Now you have to compete with this. Before, you weren't afraid of PoE 1 because, oh, the game is too complicated, nobody cares. But PoE 2 is taking in more people. It is a big event. It is scoring into your audience. So, hey, do better. I hope this results in what I want it to result, which is the Diablo 4 team steps it up, steals a bunch of ideas from the PoE 2 team and improve D4, and then we have two awesome games. I know D4 will never be as complex as PoE 2, but it can be a good casual game, right? And we try the new seasons every time they come out. We have fun. We can go back to PoE 2 or whatever other game. But right now, people are even considering just keep playing PoE 2, that we have had the same thing for a while now, and it's completely skipping the new D4 season. Imagine that. And it is probably going to be the best D4 season so far. So yes, things are complicated for D4. But again, if you keep it in the ecosystem of Blizzard and D4, I think the season is looking good. I am going to try it. The game is improving. I hope at some point they improve the game greatly. But I know that it's going to probably not happen in a season, but probably in the next expansion. I don't know what that would say about the future of the game, because when they get to next expansion, PoE 2 will have probably already be fully released, and then you have to compete with that. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this whole situation. Are you going to play the new season? You are not going to play it? Do you like it? You don't like it? Are you still addicted to PoE2 like I am? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel. My dude, subscribe. It is just a click. It is easy. It is free. Support the channel, bro. Don't be like that. Hey guys, thanks for being here. You guys are fucking awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.